The Keystone State battle could have massive implications on the Metropolitan Division standings. The Penguins and Flyers clashing in Pittsburgh tonight. We have a game preview coming up. Kyle Dubas' recent roster moves already paying huge dividends and gaining some trust among Penguins fans, as well as a new nickname for Sidney Crosby being identified on the show today after his stream of success against the Philadelphia Flyers in his career. Welcome to Penguins Digest. My name is Remington Kuhn. First and foremost, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Penguins Digest, 99.9% of you are not yet subscribed to the channel, and I'm not sure what you're waiting for. If you want the latest news on the Pittsburgh Penguins, subscribe to the channel, and we got you covered. Let's jump right into it today. We have to discuss Owen Pickering because he was placed on the IR this morning. Pickering was injured in the last game against the New Jersey Devils. He exited early in the contest and did not return. It was actually identified that Pickering suffered a concussion in that game, so he has been placed on IR and is set to miss some time. In a corresponding roster move, Kyle Dubas recalled Nate Clurman from Wilkes-Barre Scranton. This is the second time Clurman has been recalled. He has yet to see the ice for the Pittsburgh Penguins, but this is the second time that he has been recalled to the NHL team because of an injury. With Marcus Pettersson going down, they recalled Clurman. He got sent back down and is recalled again due to an injury to Owen Pickering. So 2 of the top 4 defensemen on the Penguins are now on IR, and that is not good. It was originally labeled as an upper body injury, but has since been updated to a concussion for Owen Pickering. So Pittsburgh called up Clurman from Wilkes-Barre Scranton, and Pickering will at least miss the next 2 games, maybe more. That includes this matchup tonight against the Philadelphia Flyers after he was injured in New Jersey on Saturday. So not good news for the Penguins, losing Owen Pickering, one of their star young players that has been very effective for them as of late, but he will be out of the lineup and replaced on the left side by P.O. Joseph, who moves up to the first line to play alongside Kris Letang. We'll go over those lineup changes in just a bit on this episode of Penguins Digest, but first we just had to mention the update on the injury for Owen Pickering. It's not looking good. With that concussion, he is going to miss at least 2 more games and possibly more. So the Penguins are going to deeply miss Owen Pickering. Again, a great young player, will be 21 years old next month. He has been one of the bright spots for the Penguins during this recent string of success, and he will be deeply missed in the lineup, playing alongside Kris Letang and playing some big minutes for Pittsburgh. So let's look at what other defensemen need to step up. I just mentioned it a few seconds ago. Other defensemen needing to take on different roles for Pittsburgh, needing to move up, move down in the lineup, whatever's necessary. Missing 2 guys on the same side. 2 left shot defensemen, Marcus Pettersson and Owen Pickering, both being on the injured reserve, means that Ryan Graves is going to reinsert himself into the lineup. This means that the acquisition of P.O. Joseph by Kyle Dubas was an outstanding and necessary trade to happen. Dubas got P.O. Joseph for nearly nothing, future considerations, and that is already paying huge dividends for the Penguins now that they are missing 2 left shot defensemen for possibly an extended period of time. Let's look at what Dubas said after acquiring P.O. We just didn't feel like we were putting our group in a good enough position to perform or develop in some cases and needed to shore up our depth there, referring to the left side of the defense. There's a familiarity with P.O., the person and the player, with most of our coaches' room and staff that doesn't exist with the others on the waiver wire today. So we felt this was the best course of action to bolster our depth with someone that won't require a lot of lag time to get up to speed with our team. And P.O. is immediately thrown into the action by Mike Sullivan. He's now playing on the first pairing of defense with Kris Letang, somewhere he is familiar being as well. He had a 3-assist game with the Penguins years ago, playing alongside Kris Letang, and that was one of the most notable games I remember from P.O.'s original tenure with the Penguins. Now he's playing back alongside Kris Letang, somewhere he's comfortable, and he's going to have to play a big role for Pittsburgh in the next few games without Owen Pickering. So playing on that first line means you're going to get a ton of minutes. I liked what I saw from P.O. Joseph last game. Kris Letang also looked outstanding in New Jersey. He was especially good in the first period. His aggression, offensive instincts started to show up in the second period, and obviously P.O. Joseph is a great two-way defenseman. He made some outstanding defensive plays against New Jersey, and he's going to need to continue to do that if Letang wants to continue to be aggressive and help out on the offensive end, joining the rush, generating some offense, especially if the Penguins are down in games. P.O. is such a smooth skater. He's so good with the puck. He can be a defensive defenseman when he needs to be. So that's going to really be tested in the coming games for Pittsburgh, needing PO to really play his best hockey alongside Kris Letang to help the Penguins on defense, a place where they have been very weak all season. We have a Christmas break coming up, the holiday break after this game against Philadelphia. So that'll allow Owen Pickering and Marcus Pettersson some more time to recover and get back to full health, nursing those injuries that they suffered in recent games. We need them on the ice if we're going to be successful. But for now, P.O. Joseph is going to be required to play some huge minutes for the Penguins, and we're going to really see what this guy is made of after he struggled in St. Louis. Penguins get him back, and he is already playing on the first line with Kris Letang after just one game because of this unfortunate injury to Owen Pickering. Moving on to the next topic today, and that is a new nickname for Sidney Crosby. The Fly Swatter is what I have tabbed as Sidney Crosby's new nickname, especially when the Penguins take on the Philadelphia Flyers. Crosby has had a ton of success against Philadelphia in his career, and we hope that that continues here tonight. If you look at Crosby's stats against the Flyers in his career, he has more goals scored against Philly than any other team in his illustrious career. Sid has only scored more points against one other team than Philadelphia in his career. So second most points and most goals against the team is Philadelphia, which is why we have to give him the nickname the Fly Swatter. He cuts them down from the sky every time we play against those ugly orange and black uniforms. Crosby is one of the best players in NHL history, but he is especially effective against our heated rivals, the Philadelphia Flyers. Obviously, Sid has had a ridiculous season. He is 35 points in 35 games in his age 37 season in the NHL, trying to break Gretzky's record for most seasons at a point per game and consecutive seasons at a point per game in NHL history. He is just playing on another level lately, had a 4-point night just 2 games ago. The whole team struggled against New Jersey, so I'm going to call that a fluke and hope that Sid bounces back in a big way against the team he has had a ton of success against in his NHL career. So a lot of big things to expect from Sidney Crosby against the Flyers, especially in a home game. Obviously, Pittsburgh needs to get back on track against the Metropolitan Division. Just one win against the Metro this season, and that was against Washington early in the year. So a win against the Metro would be huge for the Penguins tonight. Crosby missed an open net last game against Jacob Markstrom and the Devils in a 3-0 loss. It just grazed off of Jacob Markstrom's glove and then hit the post square. Crosby could not have had a more open net, but Markstrom's big frame and athleticism prevented that puck from getting in the net. Obviously, that's something that would start a slump for some players, but when Sid has a bad game, you almost have to expect him to bounce back the very next game, and that's one of the reasons why I expect Sid to have a big game tonight and lead the Penguins to victory over the Flyers. Sid doesn't miss those opportunities very often, and when he does, you have to expect him to bounce back. He was hustling the shift right after, beat out an icing, trying to generate an offensive opportunity for his team. He's always leading by example. The fourth line is something I also want to mention because they have been a pressure cooker. Ever since Mike Sullivan established this fourth line with Blake Lizotte, Noel Acciari, and Matt Nieto, they have been the most consistent line on this hockey team. I love what I've been seeing from them, even last game, really putting the pressure on the New Jersey Devils, really making the Devils work for it, forcing them to expel energy. And you can see there, Nieto, Lizotte, Acciari, I don't think that line is going to be changed anytime soon. They have been so good together. The chemistry is evident. Spark plugs is how I would identify them for this team. They've gone out there every shift and worked harder than the opponent. It doesn't matter if they're going against the opponent's first line, third line, fourth line. They have been so consistent. And these are guys that help kill penalties. These are guys that are physical. These are guys that are battling for loose pucks. I mean, they're doing everything you need them to do. And if that can continue against Philadelphia, that is our X factor. Because if you look at the comparison between the Penguins and the Flyers this season, there isn't a whole lot of difference. These are two teams that are very mediocre all season long, not really standing out in any offensive or defensive categories other than how bad both of them have been at preventing goals scored against them. So playing a game where the teams are this evenly matched as far as production over the course of the season, a line like Acciari, Lizotte, and Nieto can really impact the game and be that X factor that the Penguins need to get a W. But the fourth line has been the most consistent line on the team and one of the best fourth lines I've seen in the entire National Hockey League this year. They had a really nice shift late in the game last contest against the Devils in the offensive zone, generating good pressure and offensive opportunities. That is momentum that I expect to carry over in a game like this against the Flyers. Tensions are going to be high. Obviously, these teams hate each other, so there's going to be a lot of physicality. And if that fourth line can play big minutes for Mike Sullivan and bring that same energy that they have in recent games, that's going to propel the Penguins to victory. And I firmly believe that that is the key to win tonight. Sidney Crosby being the fly swatter that he is, and the fourth line continuing to be a pressure cooker for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Penguins Digest. My name is Remington Kuhn. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. We appreciate all of you watching our videos, but most of you have not yet hit that subscribe button. So hit that subscribe button and we will keep you up to date on the latest news surrounding the Pittsburgh Penguins. Hopefully we can be victorious against the Flyers tonight and start another winning streak. It didn't look good against New Jersey on Saturday, but it's time to go into the Christmas break on a high note, beating our hated rivals, the Philadelphia Flyers. Again, thank you guys for watching this episode of Penguins Digest, and we'll see you on the next one. Merry Christmas to all.